Hello, fifth graders. It's time for some social studies. Today, we are going to start with our first explorer, Christopher Columbus. So you're going to need your textbook, and you're going to need your Chapter 5 packet. Your Chapter 5 packet looks like this, except you have a whole bunch of vocabulary words already written in there from yesterday with capital letters at the beginning, periods at the end of those sentences, I'm sure. All right, so we're basically going to cover 8 explorers in this chapter. And for each explorer, if you turn your page to this next section here, this says Christopher Columbus. He's the first one. We're going to be looking at 6 different things. And I think it's good for us to look at what 6 things we want to know because we're going to try to pull them from the text as we read. So the first thing we're going to want to know is the occupation. That just means job. What was his job? We also have a sponsor. That means who funded his trip, who paid for him to go exploring. When, so the dates. When did he go explore? Motives means what was he hoping to gain from his exploration? The route of exploration, in each section you'll see that it shows you a picture on the map, and there's an arrow drawn in there of where they were coming from and where they went to, so we'll be able to fill that in. And then finally, the impact. So what effect did his exploration have on others? So those are the 6 things we're going to look for each explorer. So we're going to read through this. I'll read through this out loud, and you can follow along. You're welcome to read it independently as well. That's fine. But we are on page 48. Page 48. All right, first off, I see this little map right here, the route of Christopher Columbus's first voyage to the New World. This map should look pretty familiar because we just saw it on the route of exploration. So we know to come back to this map. That's the arrow that I was talking about. Okay, so Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was born in 1451 in Genoa, a busy seaport on the coast of Italy. As a child, Columbus had read about the travels of Marco Polo. In the late 1200s, Polo had journeyed to Asia and brought back gold, jewels, and spices from China. Columbus was also interested in exploring these faraway lands. So around the age of 15, Columbus became a sailor. So it's going to ask you what occupation Columbus had. He was a sailor, and we'll write that down in our paper after. He sailed on ships that went south along the coast of Africa and north to Ireland. They may have gone to Iceland. Viking sailors from Norway had already explored as far as Greenland and the eastern Canadian shores, but Columbus and others did not know about these voyages. So there were other people that had traveled to these lands, but they weren't aware of it. The Portuguese were trying to get to Asia by sailing south around the southern tip of Africa. In the 1400s, people knew much less about the world than is known today. Columbus thought the earth was much smaller than it is. He also believed it had just one ocean, and we know that is not true. He thought that he could reach Asia faster by sailing west across the Atlantic. So he was going to try a different direction in order to reach Asia faster, because Asia was where Marco Polo had brought back gold, jewels, and spices. So that sounds a little bit like a motive to me. Okay, Columbus tried to find someone to pay for his voyage. He was looking for a sponsor. The kings of Portugal, France, and England turned him down. Their advisors thought that the route around Africa was shorter. Finally, after almost 13 years, Columbus convinced Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. They gave him 3 small ships and about 90 men to take with him. So Spain, that is the sponsor. Okay, it says Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. So we'll list that in a little bit as well. On August 3rd, 1492, Columbus left Spain with 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. They sailed the southwest past the Canary Islands and then went across the Atlantic Ocean. Early on the morning of October 12th, a sailor spotted an island with white beaches and dense green forests. Columbus named the island San Salvador, which means Holy Savior in Spanish. He claimed it for Spain. Friendly people greeted him. So think about that. He claimed this land for Spain, but then was greeted from people who were already there. Columbus called them Indians because he thought that he had reached the East Indies. Columbus captured some Indians as prisoners. This sounds like an impact to me. So that's something we'll end up listing at the end. He made them take him to the island of Cuba, where he found people wearing gold ornaments and pearls. Those are the riches that were motivating to him. For 3 months, Columbus searched for gold and spices. In 1493, he sailed back to Spain carrying a few gold ornaments and Indian captives. That means people he captured to take with him. Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand rewarded Columbus and agreed to pay for more voyages. So they were pleased with the different things that he brought back. All right, we're on to the top of the next page. Columbus promised to bring them as much gold as they need and as many slaves as they ask. Columbus made 3 more voyages, exploring more islands around Cuba and the coasts of South and Central America. He found very little gold. In fact, when he died in 1506, that would be the end time to his explorations. That's one of the dates we need. He didn't know that he had reached the New World. Other Spanish and Portuguese explorers did find gold. They also found the perfect climate for growing crops such as sugarcane and tobacco. These discoveries helped them establish wealthy colonies in the New World. But to do this, they forced the Indians to work in fields and mines. They hanged or burned those who resisted. So I know we kind of hear about these explorers and you hear kind of a nice little story about it, but I'm hoping that you're seeing that they had kind of a pretty big negative impact on the people who were already there and did kind of some mean stuff. All right, so I would like for you to get your packet in front of you, please. And we're gonna fill some of these things in together. We already kind of pointed the things out as we went. I did, I guess. I'm sure you noticed them too. So Christopher Columbus, that's who we're on right now. His occupation, maybe you remember, he was a sailor. Let me get the top, I have a brand new pen here. Sailor. This is a nice pen, very exciting. Okay, the next one, sponsor. Do you remember the sponsor? King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella of what? Spain. Yes, if you said Spain, you are correct. If you didn't say Spain, I'll have no idea. I wish I could hear you, I'm sorry. All right, the dates. It said that he started sailing on his first little exploration in 1492. And then he passed away in 1506. That's when his explorations ended. So 1492 to 1506. Okay. As far as what motivated him, what made him want to go exploring, well, when you heard about his, I guess he liked Marco Polo. He found interest in that, and Marco Polo found a lot of riches. So finding riches. We can make a little money sign, like a dollar sign. So money was very motivating. He was also trying to find a new route to Asia. Remember, he wanted to find a shorter way because they traveled to Asia quite a bit because they wanted the spices and the silks and jewels and different things that they found there. So he's looking for a new route to Asia that was shorter. Okay, for the route of exploration, if you look at your book, I'll bring that back over. There's the same little picture that I have right here. And we can see like this right here, we see there's us, there's Michigan. We can always tell with the Great Lakes. This is Florida. And we can see down from Florida, there's another piece of land here. Christopher Columbus traveled through there. So we want to record that on the map that's in our packet. So this one's a little bit smaller, but here's Florida, and here are those pieces of land. So we're gonna put our arrow, came from over here, and traveled around through there. That's the route of exploration. Okay, Lastly, the impact. Okay, so he did claim land for Europe. So that can be our first little bullet point. Claimed land for Europe, that's a big deal. Even though it already belonged to someone else. He did provide new information for maps. I'm just going to say info. He established settlements. That just means that people settled there to live and stay. And then we should also say that he treated the natives harshly or poorly. Or I guess we could have said mistreated, but it's okay. Treated the natives being the people that were already there, very poorly. All right, that's 1 of 8. Tomorrow we'll talk about the next one, John Cabot. You're all done for today. Thanks for watching.